the royal qualities he had, and when everything is settled well, he had plenty time, so he spent his time with the queen to get scripture knowledge from some guru, and king and queen both, they were passing time in contemplating and discussing all these. And sometimes Chudala, the queen, she had special solitary time, and she used to analyze, contemplate over I and my, all this world, the relationship and everything very seriously. Once she started contemplating, and she went on searching, who am I? Enquiring, who am I? And in the end she found, I am not the body. Body is just inert, dead body. It has got nothing to do, it cannot do anything. And then I am not the senses also. I cannot be the mind, intellect, and ego, and the chitta also. I cannot be the prana, the vital energy. So finally she attained the knowledge of the Absolute, which is known as forgotten as I and known as I. So she was firmly convinced and firmly established in it, and once so she was looking so beautiful, just as there was a effulgent light in the inside the room. The outsiders, they will be able to see something is, some light is there inside. Similarly, her knowledge, her bliss, her effulgence was radiating outside. And once the king saw her, and he was very much astonished. What has happened to this queen? When the king asked Chudala, what has happened to you? You look so beautiful today. What have you gained? What have you achieved, because of which you see so radiant? So Chudala answered to the king, I have attained that state of the Absolute wherefrom nobody comes back. It is the eternal abode, eternal steady state of the whole universe, everything. And that is called knowledge also. I have achieved that, and because of that only I look so beautiful. That is the cause for my beauty. So the king was not believing it, because king was not yet realized. He had some other ideas, who didn't believe that the truth can reveal so soon without any hard labor. So the king was not believing it. That is what we shall discuss in this chapter. महाराज वशिष्ठ जी ने कहा, भद्र, उस रीति से अपनी शोभा की अधिकता में कारण बतला रही अपने स्वरूपभूत आत्मा में विश्रांत कांतवदन उस चुड़ाला के प्रति हंसकर उसके वचनों का भाव न जानकर राजा शिखध्वज ने बोला, not knowing the intrinsic meaning of what Chudala said, the queen, not believing on her, not knowing that state, the king didn't believe it, and he said to Chudala, शिखध्वज ने कहा, हे स्वरूपे राजपुत्री, तुम प्रौढ़ नहीं हुई हो, दूसरे को समझाने में उपयोगी वाक्य बोलने में अपटू हो, इसीलिए असंबंध प्रलाप करती हो। तुम जिन राजलीलाओं से रमण करती हो, उन्हीं से रमण क्या करो। So the king said, without believing the words of or that realization of queen, he said, my dear darling, oh princess, you have not been able to use these words how to teach others. You don't know it. You don't know how to talk. And so you don't know the links, what words has got connection with what other words. You don't know anything. You are a neophyte in spiritual field. You don't know anything. So it is better go and enjoy the royal enjoyments. Just as before. ना किंचेद किंचिदापि इत्यादि वाक्य से असंबंध प्रलापत्व बतलाते हैं। भद्रे, बतलाओ तो सही, जो वस्तु आकार सामान्य का परित्याग कर कभी भी प्रत्यक्ष न होने वाली निराकारता को प्राप्त हो चुकी है, वह प्रत्यक्ष और अस्तित्व से शून्य वस्तु कैसे शोभित हो सकती है। So the king said, my dear, one who has left his body form and name, one who has left it has become formless and nameless, and a state which cannot be expressed nor can be explained. How can that will have such beauty? You don't know what you speak. It is impossible simply. भोगैरभुक्तैः स्तुष्यामि, यह तुम्हारा वचन भी असंबंधी है। जो पुरुष क्रोध से आसन सज्जा आदि के परित्याग की तरह भोगों का अभुक्त हो गए, भोगों से मैं तुष्ट हूँ, इस बुद्धि से परित्याग करता है, वो कैसे शोभित हो सकता है? हाउ कैन ए पर्सन बी ब्यूटिफाइड by saying I have enjoyed which is unknown and unseen? Has it got any meaning? And I have given up everything, all the enjoyable objects, and that's why I am so beautiful, I look so beautiful. All these words have got no meaning. And I have given up everything, I have renounced everything. The whole world I have renounced, and that's why I am looking so beautiful. These words have got no meaning. Irrelevant words. You don't know how to talk. एक आकाश शंका से केवल हृदय रमे, यह जो तुमने कहा है वह भी असंगत है. What you said, only I enjoy the sky of awareness in the heart, that also has got no meaning. साक्षात भोजन और मित्र भृत्य प्रवृत्ति का भोजन उनका परित्याग कर तथा भोजन साधन धनादि समस्त वस्तुओं का परित्याग कर, जो एक शून्य आकाश में ही पिशाचवत रमण करता है, वह शोभित होता है. यह कहना कैसे संगत हो सकता है? How can it be justified to say I have been enjoying the objects by renouncing all, and I am enjoying the sky just like a ghost? You say, how it is possible? One who renounces everything, all the objects of enjoyment, how he can be seen as very happy, and that bliss, that happiness radiates from his body? How can I believe it? All these are meaningless words you utter. You don't know how to speak. क्रोधी की तरह धैर्य मात्र के अवलंबन कर शीत उष्ण क्षुधा तृष्णा आदि का सहन करने वाला पुरुष वसन असन सज्जा आदि सर्वविध साधनों का परित्याग कर जो अकेला स्वरूप से ही स्थित रहता है, वो कैसे शोभित हो सकता है? One who renounces all the cold and hot and hunger and thirst, and one who bears everything, and without good clothes, good bed, good food, and renouncing all these, how can he beautify himself? It is impossible. idam चाहमिदम नाहम इत्यादि वचन में भी असंबंधत्व बतलाते हैं. मैं देह नहीं हूँ, मैं कुछ और ही हूँ इत्यादि पदार्थ है ही नहीं, सब कुछ परिपूर्णात्मक है। इस प्रकार जिसका प्रलाप है वो कैसे शोभित हो सकता है? One who blubbers like a mad chap, telling I am not the body, I am not all these senses and mind, etc. I am something else. One who I am the whole totality, one who says like this, knowing nothing, how can he be beautiful? No way. All these words have got no link, no meaning. पश्यामि यन्नयन राशि रश्मि भी, पश्यामि यत नयन रश्मि भी, यह जो तुमने अंत में कहा है वह भी बिल्कुल असंगत है। इसलिए तुम्हारे द्वारा उक्त ये अर्थ सौभाग्य हेतु नहीं है। जो मैं इंद्रिय प्रवृत्तियों से यह देखती हूँ, जो मैं इंद्रिय वृत्तियों से यह देखती हूँ, उसे परमार्थिक रूप से नहीं देखती हूँ। You told, whatever I see by these senses, that I don't see from my angle of vision. जिसे मैं पारमार्थिक स्वरूप से देखती हूँ वो कोई और ही चीज़ है। Whatever I see from ultimate angle of vision, that is something else. इस प्रकार का जो प्रलाप है, such words which you blubber like a mad chap, उसे त्यागे बिना वो कौन है जो शोभित हो सकता है? हाउ कैन यू बी ब्यूटिफाइड? इसलिए हे सुंदरी, द किंग डिडंट बिलीव. On the other hand, he joked at the queen. You don't know anything, you don't know how to talk. Whatever you say, it has just the opposite meaning. So, you don't know how to talk. इसलिए हे सुंदरी, तुम बाला हो, मुग्धा हो और हो चपल. So, my dear darling, you are just a girl and you are bewildered. You have been misunderstood and you are very, very flittering minded. हे विलासिनी, अनेक प्रकार के आलाप विलासों से जिस तरह की क्रीड़ा करता हूँ उसी तरह तुम भी क्रीड़ा करो. सो माय डियर डार्लिंग, माय ब्यूटीफुल वाइफ, don't talk like that and enjoy in the way I enjoy all these royal enjoyments. Do like me. राजा सिखध्वज ने उसी प्रकार अपनी प्रिया चुड़ाला के प्रति अट्टहास से हंसकर मध्याह्न में स्नान करने के लिए उठकर चुड़ाला के घर से प्रस्थान किया. Having joking at and criticizing the queen, the king went away from her cabin बड़े दुख का विषय है कि अभी तक राजा अपने स्वरूप में स्थित नहीं हुआ है। मेरे वचनों का भी वह न समझ सका। इस प्रकार विचार से खिन्न हुई वह चुड़ाला अपने कार्य में संलग्न हो गई। Now the king Chudala understood. Poor fellow has not understood the reality. How can he understand my words? What I say, it is something not reachable by ordinary persons. They cannot understand my language. That's why the king could not understand me. Anyhow, she was very depressed. My husband has not yet understood. Of course, they have gone through all the scriptures, but Chudala was feeling bad. My husband has not yet understood the reality. हे रामचंद्र, तदनंतर वहीं पर उस प्रकार के भिन्न भिन्न आशय से युक्त उन दोनों का उस समय भी पहले की पार्थिव लीलाओं से उसी तरह बहुत काल चला गया। So Chudala also ignored the king, and she also started behaving ordinarily just as the king was behaving, just as the common people. She didn't show anything. In this way they passed a long time. एक समय की बात है कि नित्य तृप्त और निरीह भी चूड़ाला को लीलावश आकाश में देवताओं के सदृश गमनागमन करने की स्वयं इच्छा हुई। After a long time, once Chudala had some thoughts by chance, let me go to the sky and have contact with the gods, and let me see the luminous beings. They are the gods and other great siddhas. Let me have a look upon them. She had this idea all of a sudden. देवताओं के सदृश गमनागमन करने की स्वयं इच्छा हुई। Let me have a walk in this space. तदनंतर वो राजकन्या आकाश में यथेष्ट संचार की। सिद्धि के लिए सर्वविध विषयों का अनादर कर और निर्जन स्थान में आकर स्वयं अकेली ही एकांत में निरत तथा अपने आसन के ऊपर उचित अंगों से अवस्थित हो ऊर्ध्वगामी प्राण पवन का दीर्घ आकाश संचार की सिद्ध के लिए अनुकूल भ्रूमध्य आदि देश में निरोध करने के लिए अभ्यास करने लगी। So she started practicing pranayam, fixing it in the middle of eyebrows and in other places, fixing the prana and having the strong will to go up and walk in the space. She went to a solitary place and sat steadily on a posture and practiced pranayam for some time, because that was her desire for the time being. खेचर सिद्धि हेतुभूत क्रिया के प्रसंग से श्री रामभद्र सामान्य क्रिया में निमित्त की जिज्ञासा से आक्षेप करते हैं. So now Ramji had the doubt. What is that walking, space walking, and how it is possible? It is not possible for some ordinary beings. So Ramji had the question. खेचर सिद्धि हेतुभूत क्रिया के प्रसंग से श्री रामभद्र सामान्य क्रिया में निमित्त की जिज्ञासा से आक्षेप करते हैं. राम जी ने कहा, गुरुवार यह जो कुछ स्थावर और जंगम जगत है वह सब क्रिया से ही उत्पादित मालूम होता है, क्योंकि कर्ता आदि कारकों की क्रिया के बिना किसी की उत्पत्ति देखी नहीं जाती है. ऐसे स्थिति में यह एक स्वाभाविक जिज्ञासा होती है कि क्रिया नामक स्पंद की उत्पत्ति किससे हुई. उसकी उत्पत्ति सक्रिय से होगी वह तो कह नहीं सकते हैं, क्योंकि इस समाधान में आत्माश्रय और अनवस्था दोनों दोष स्थित है. यदि कुटस्थ से उसकी उत्पत्ति होती है यह कहकर समाधान करें तो उसमें व्याघात, अविराम और फलानावस्था ये तीन दोष आ जाएंगे. इसलिए हे महाराज, क्रिया नामक वस्तु की उत्पत्ति अनुभव पथ पर कैसे आती है उसे कहिए. श्री राम जी had a very complicated question. We have to understand the question first. How one can have spacewalk? Walk means an action. How that action can be related with experience? Action is different than the experience. The inner meaning of the question is this. Action is different from the experience. This is simple, we can understand. Experience is different and actions are different. Actions are done by the senses of actions or senses of our knowledge also, we can say. The eyes does the action of seeing or having contact with the forms, that is called action. This cannot have any experiential state. Experience is not action. Experience is a steady state. It cannot be action. So spacewalk, how it is possible? It is simply impossible. If you say so, please tell me, explain me how it is possible. Again we can see, गुरुवार यह जो कुछ स्थावर और जंगम जगत है वह सब क्रिया से ही उत्पादित मालूम होता है. Whatever creation we see, all these creatures, they are created by action only, and they do everything by action. क्योंकि कर्तादि कारकों की क्रिया के बिना किसी की उत्पत्ति नहीं देखी जा सकती है. Because if there is not a doer, how can any object be done? It is impossible. The whole world is based on these triads. One does, the doer does the action, or object is seen. Suppose a potter, if there is a potter who does the pot, who makes the pot, then only we can see a pot. That action of doing the pot, creating the pot, we see. There will be a doer, there will be a process of doing, and then there will be some done object. This is what we see in the world. Without the triads, there cannot be any new thing. ऐसी स्थिति में वह एक स्वाभाविक जिज्ञासा होती है. So if this is the situation of the whole creation, then naturally there is a question. क्रिया नामक स्पंद की उत्पत्ति किससे हुई? That action, where from it is generated, or origin. Action means walking in the space, where from it is sourced, or it is originated. Who walks there? Some doer must be there, and that doer, if it is experience only, it cannot do anything. From this angle, we have also the same question on the, many times we have seen these questions. When the realized soul rests in peace, the absolute steadiness, how he can do all these common sense actions, means actions of the senses. How the senses can have contact with the objects. When he has attained the absolute steadiness, that is experience of the absolute truth, how can the senses do anything? There is no possibility. By no way the senses can do anything. Because ultimately everything is merged in the absolute silence or steadiness. Who can do it? Where from that tendency grows to do something? Where is its origin? If the doer is absent, who does the action? Because doer is no more there. He has denied, I am not the doer. So how can there be any action? Did you follow the question? This is a common question. Anybody can have this doubt. उसकी उत्पत्ति सक्रिय से होगी. This action will be generated from a doer, one who does something. यह तो कह नहीं सकते क्योंकि इस समाधान में आत्माश्रय और अनवस्था दोनों दोष स्थित है. We cannot say one who is steadily, silently is abiding somewhere, he has done this work. This we cannot say. Because you say he is silenced. He is not doing anything. Yourself you say he is silent, and then you say he has done this work. Both are contradictory to each other. Anavastha. Anavastha means it is not possible. क्योंकि उस समाधान में आत्माश्रय और अनवस्था दोनों दोष स्थित हैं. आत्मा में आश्रय ले लिया है, मतलब she has been established on the truth, and again you say he has done this work, so both are impossible. यदि कूटस्थ से उसकी उत्पत्ति होती है, यह कहकर समाधान करें. If you say that balanced state is the source for these actions, that also looks like irrelevant some words. Or kutastha means the silent state, means nothing is done there, no action is possible there, no movement is there. And how can you say it is the source for all these actions? No, that is also impossible. So in that state, that steadiness will be disturbed. यह कहकर समाधान अगर करेंगे, उसमें व्याघात, अविराम और फला अनवस्था, ये तीन दोष आ जाएंगे. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. इसीलिए हे महाराज, क्रिया नामक वस्तु की उत्पत्ति अनुभव पथ पर कैसे आती है, उससे मुझे कहिए. So, my great one, my Guruvar, please explain me how that action has come to the experiential field, how it can be linked. Please explain me. इस प्रकार आक्षेप कर प्रस्तुत विषय पूछते हैं. हे ब्राह्मण, यह जो आकाश गमन आदि सिद्धियां हैं, वे घनाभ्यस्त की से प्रयत्नशाली स्पंद विलास के फल हैं, यह मुझसे कहिए. So Ramji is asking Vasishtha, O great one, please tell me how it is possible. This spacewalking, etc. हे प्रभु, जो अनात्मज्ञ पुरुष हैं, वे अपने सिद्धि के लिए, अथवा जो आत्मज्ञ हैं, वे एकमात्र लीला के लिए किस क्रम से इन सिद्धियों को सिद्ध करते हैं. वो जैसा है मुझसे कहिए. So the basic question is now, Ramji is asking, there are two types of people. One is ignorant, the other is wise man who knows everything. So both, if they can be able to walk in the space, how can they have? How ignorant persons can have some effort, self-effort to have spacewalk. Ignorant persons can do it because they are movable. They are not fixed on the truth. They are not established in the truth. So they can have this power because it belongs to action. So these people, they have action and reaction. They are subject to action and reaction. Ignorant people. So they have to do some austerity and something, and then they can have spacewalk. Or else the realized souls, if you say they can have spacewalk, then how it is possible? For both, please tell me how it happens. आत्मज्ञ जो है वे एकमात्र लीला के लिए इस क्रम में से करेंगे काम. Having a sport means for entertainment they will have spacewalk, and the others for some power sake they will also have spacewalk to get some powers. So in both the cases, how it happens, please tell me. वशिष्ठ जी ने कहा है रामभद्र, जो अपने क्रिया की उत्पत्ति के विषय में आत्माश्रय अनवस्था आदि दोषों का उद्भावन किया है, वह तब घटता जब केवल क्रिया स्वरूप की सिद्धि के लिए कारकों को अपेक्षा होती. परंतु यहाँ बात वैसे नहीं है. बात यह है कि क्रिया साध्य फल के लिए कारकों की अपेक्षा होती है. फल की उत्पत्ति के लिए प्रवृत्त हुए कारक आंतरिक रूप से क्रिया का अवलंबन करते हैं. उसी क्रिया के आधार पर फल में साध्यता और कारकों में साधनता कही जा सकती है. इस रीति से निष्कर्ष यह निकला कि साध्य और साधन दोनों से विलक्षण क्रिया साध्य में अपेक्षित साधनों से भिन्न किसी अन्य साधन की अपेक्षा नहीं करती. इसलिए क्रिया में सक्रिय कारण है या कुटस्थ, इस विकल्प का प्रसंग ही नहीं आता है. इस आशय से वशिष्ठ जी आगे के प्रश्नों के समाधान में गौण मुख्य साधारण क्रिया साध्य को विभाग पूर्वक दर्शाते हैं. वशिष्ठ जी in reply to it, he gives all the logical points. Logic. Now, the student Rama also puts the question on logic. Of course, everybody knows it is there. The ignorant person says to acquire some supernatural powers, they do it and they get it. That is accepted. And the great wise people also, they have got this power, everybody knows. They can do and undo anything and everything. That everybody knows. So in both the cases, he is giving the causes, the logic for it, how it is possible. He brings the grammar here. Grammar. Karak, karta, karak and karma. Karta, the doer, and karak, the instrument which makes the action possible, and then the work done by the action, object. So in this way, the causes are called karak. Karak, one who makes the action to be performed. व्याकरण में हमारा है कर्ता कारक, कर्म कारक और करण कारक, संप्रदान कारक, अपादान कारक और संबंध कारक, फिर अधिकरण कारक, वह भी दो किस्म का होगा. It will be two types. One is time, other is space. Sthanadhikaran, other is kaladhikaran. The time will be one cause and other will be space. Kaladhikaran, sthanadhikaran, and then we come to the eighth state, that is Sambodhan. Sambodhan, addressing. How is the doer? How is the doer? How we have relation or contact with the doer. So all these words are systematized in a particular way, that is called grammar. Vyakaran we say. Vyakaran literally means to set up or to regularize or to make a process of all the sounds and words. That is called the literal meaning of grammar. It should be regularized or made systematic, or it should be placed properly, which will have some meanings and it can be used then. So for that, all the words they use in a grammatical way so that it will have proper meaning. There are words, we call it sabda. There are verbs also, we call it dhatu. And we have the different forms of the sabda, the words, and different forms of the kriya, the verbs also. Dhatu, sabdarup, dhaturup. They differ from each other when it is used in practical day-to-day life. So grammar systematize these words, how these words should be, in what form, and how it should be used, what link it should have. And there are also different times, past, present, future. So all these are in present also different states of present situations. In the past also different situations. In future also. So accordingly the roots means the verbs or the nouns, they should be used. So they are set up in a particular way, in particular forms in grammar, so that it will have proper meaning. We can have transactions by it. The whole world stands upon words only, sound only. Thereby we can communicate with each other, or else there is no other way. And these language also are verbal. They are the sound which are formed as words and to have contact with the object by the senses. This is the relationship. So this has got different states also, past, present, future. Accordingly, the grammar sets all these forms of words, which are called words also, and action also, verbs also. And time also is there. And then when we use it relatively, then person also is there, single, dual, and many. So number should be used properly. Ekvachan, dovachan, bahuvachan. In this way, so many rules and regulations. Sometimes two words they get together, similar words, or similar words who can be have relationship, they will be used together. So it is called combination, sandhi. And sometimes samas, kridant, tadhit, kya सब है सब. Grammar is a big, elaborate subject. We should not go there. But here they are using the logic of grammar. How it is possible? Because action is verb and doer is the noun and done is the object, karma. So in this way, when we start having arguments, then all this grammatical logic we have to use, or else it will have no meaning.
From a relative point of view, action, do and undo, physical action, but from a mental point of view, how do we understand like do and undo of an action?
Do and undo.
Mentally.
Again you have brought mental. So it is mental case. We are talking of the day-to-day relative lifestyle. We use words. And mental has also the same, but in a subtle way, which is called psychology, telepathy, and many other terms they use. It has also got many logics. The past will be related with the present and future also. It is in a subtler field, but for that, this gross grammar doesn't work. But it can have some influence over it. We can use the essence of or the ideas of grammar to understand the subtler state of these relationships. We can, but there is no such gross grammar for subtler actions. It is not done by the great seers, because it is mental case. The gross relationship, our worldly relationship, that is everywhere seen. Every language will have grammar, some systematic way to use the words. And sometimes the subtler world will have subtler logic, which will create confusion. Why? Because the mind has different states of it. Gross mind, very subtle mind, pure mind, and that same mind also is called intellect. Intellect works in a different way, and mind works in a different way. Though they are similar, yet they have hell and heaven difference. So all these are very complicated methods. Of course, the all-seer will understand everything. From our relative point of view, it is very hard and a very complicated process. We cannot go with logic or this our gross grammar to that state. It is not easy joke. The great seers, the analyzer of brain, mind, and our prana and intellect, ego, they will say something. And that is not saying, not in the verbal way. No, they will act in mental way only. So if you can communicate, then only it is possible. Mental communication with those great seers. They will try to explain. Everything there in a subtler plane. We cannot speak and have some understanding on it. Agree? Let us not bring the mental cases here. We are not mental persons. All these logics are very subtle logics. Why? Simply we can have gross understanding that the whole world stands upon doer doing the work, verb, and the done object. Karta, kriya, karma. This much. And karak also. Karak means instrumental, means cause for the, which are responsible for the process to go on. महाराज वशिष्ठ जी ने कहा है, प्रिय राघव, इस जगत में सभी जगह साध्य वस्तु तीन तरह की होती है. नाउ लेट अस सी व्हाट explanation our वशिष्ठ जी gives. उपादेय, हेय और उपेक्ष. वशिष्ठ जी says he understood the logic of Rama. He says whatever is done here in this relative world, इस जगत में, in this relative world, सभी जगह, in all the places, साध्य वस्तु तीन तरह की होती है. साध्य वस्तु, whatever karma is done, whatever object is done, that means created object, which is done by some actions. Say this visible names and forms, it is created by the creator. We call it creatures. The objects means the names and forms. They are called creatures, and we call it beings. So in this way we name it, and he says all these done objects, they are of three types. Upade, some are useful, heya, some are useless, rejectable, and some are upeksha, some are to be neutral towards them. Indifferently we can deal with them. Something we can deal with indifferently, something with acceptance, and something with rejecting. So three types of objects we have: acceptance and rejecting and then neutral. Neutral means to be indifferent towards it. This way we have three types of objects in this world. उसमें फल वैलक्षण्य दर्शाते हैं. In these three types of objects, we have strange difference in these three. Difference, and they are the result of these three will have strange differences. अपने अनुकूल पद उपादेय अर्थ का प्रयत्न पूर्वक निष्पादन किया जाता है. Whatever is useful or favorable for us, that we accept with care, carefulness, and with effort. We do some actions to accept it. This is good, say, thermos, so I have to have it. I have to go and purchase it. This is the effort. This is useful for me. So this effort is done to have it with you. From other angle we can say, whatever actions we do, it has got just opposite angle. We can say whatever actions we do, they have got three types. One will be favorable, one will be not favorable, and other will be just common, neither favorable nor rejectable. So in this, from opposite side if we see, and from this point of view, Vasirji says, all these objects, whatever is done, we saw the result of the actions. But he says, the actions which are done, they have three categories. One is favorable, one is rejectable, one is neutral. So, अपने अनुकूल उपादेय अर्थ का प्रयत्न पूर्वक निष्पादन किया जाता है. Whatever is favorable for us, that we do some effort to achieve it. And now also question over questions. We will have some questions over the question of Ramji. What is called favorable? How can you define it? Explain what is called favorable. And why? What is rejectable? Why should you reject? We should be very serious in all these discussions. The word should have some meaning, and that meaning, it should not, of course, all the words have some meanings, and that changes every now and then that meaning is not acceptable. Whatever prolongs for some time at least, that we can accept the meaning. Whatever meaning we have, that is ever changing, that is momentary meaning only. Do you follow? Whatever we say and whatever we understand, it is for a moment only. It changes always. Say now, the capital of India, it is called Delhi, a city. It may be Agra sometimes afterwards. It is seen in the history. Delhi was not the capital of India all the time. And our Mughal Tughlaq, the mad chap, he changed the capital into Delhi to Ahmedabad and Delhi to Dawlatabad. Dawlatabad to Delhi. What happened? See how it changes, and a little change also. Our Muhammad Tughlaq was the Basha of Delhi, and Muhammad Ghori used to come and always attack India and to get some wealth and go back. So whenever he comes, Muhammad Ghori or Thailand, there was another invader. Thailand, Mahmud Ghazni also used to come, and Thailand, there was some other very torturous Taimur Long. Taimur Long was a very, very cruel fellow. He used to come and take so much wealth from India and kill many people and go back. He had no desire to occupy here. So at that time, Tughlaq, Muhammad Tughlaq was the Badshah in Delhi. He thought it is nearer to these people, so they come very often. And if we change the capital, we shall go somewhere away, then these people will not come. So he ordered everybody, everything, with everything, they should quit Delhi and go to Daulatabad. And it was said somebody had a lame goat, and that also he didn't leave at Delhi. No, you have to take this to Daulatabad. And all of a sudden, and there was no arrangement there, so many people, and already there will be people before it. So everybody suffered, many people died in the way, and they are also seeing the difficult situation. Again he said, no, come on, we shall go to Delhi again, back. Mad chap. So in this way, it changes. And Delhi also was not eternal, you say, a capital of India. Many times, sometimes Agra was there in Mughal time, and some other places were there. So these meanings, they change very often. We use it for some time, relatively. So whatever we say, whatever we use, that is meaning will be temporary. It is not permanent. No words have got permanent meaning. Every moment it changes. So our point is, it should be little prolonged for a little long time, then only we can accept the meaning, or else it is meaningless. That is what he says. Our point is, Basirji says, Anukul Upade and Upade, Heya and Upeksha. What is Upade? What is favorable? What is the meaning of favorability? The same thing which is favorable now, after some time, it will be opposite. So what is the real meaning of favorable objects? Just as we saw the meaning of good and bad yesterday in Gita class, similarly, all the words we can classify in two ways, two categories. Whichever is helpful, useful for you to achieve your goal, whatever the goal may be, that is good for you, favorable for you, or acceptable for you, take it. So in this way we can understand what is favorable and not favorable, rejectable. Whatever the situation or the time or the objects, whatever is not useful for your achievement of the goal, that is not favorable, that is rejectable. And something has no effect on your achievement. So that is neutral. So matter ends there. Whether it is an object or it is a word meaning or anything it may be. So everything can be categorized in this way, three ways. One will be favorable, other will be rejectable, and third will be just neutral. That is what Basit ji is explaining. उपादेय है और उपेक्ष ग्रहण बुद्धि को विषयभूत वस्तु उपादेय है. इज गिविंग सम मीनिंग आल्सो, लिटरल मीनिंग. ग्रहण बुद्धि की विषयभूत वस्तु उपादेय है. ग्रहण बुद्धि, when the intellect wants it to accept, that is called favorable. That is called favorable. When the intellect wants to have contact with it, with the object, that object is favorable for you. In this way he explains what is favorable. उपादेय किसको कहते हैं? बुद्धि जिसको ग्रहण करना चाहती है. बुद्धि, the intellect, is the decisive power of the mental process. So it decides it will be useful. So it will like to have contact with the object. So in that way, whatever intellect decides to have contact or to have relationship, that is called favorable. From this point of view, he has given this.
In between we discussed something might be favorable for me, but not for you.
Yes, that is everywhere seen. Not only favorability or everything we can take. Whatever is for you, that is not for me, not for everyone. Whatever is understood by you, whatever is accepted by you, whatever is related with you, whatever is possessed by you, that is not for everyone, not for others. Your world is different from others. Whatever you have understood, that is different from others' understanding. That's how the great people never quarrel among themselves. Maybe your understanding is good for you, which is bad for me. So there is no question of difference in opinion. Everybody should compromise with each other. A man of understanding will never fight. One who is dominating over others, one who has pride of his understanding, he will fight with others. So now Basit ji has come to this point. उसमें वन इज ग्रहण बुद्धि की विषयभूत वस्तु उपादेय होता है. वो प्रवृत्ति के विषय है, वो प्रवृत्ति के विषय. Then the intellect will start doing some effort to have it. त्याग बुद्धि की विषय वस्तु है कहलाती है त्याग बुद्धि. When the intellect decides not to have contact with the object, that is called rejectable objects. Similarly, यह निवृत्ति विषय है। उपेक्षा बुद्धि के विषय वस्तु उपेक्षा है, where the intellect keeps quiet, not to have any contact, not to have acceptance, not to reject it, then that is called neutral objects. That's all. He takes the medium intellect, and similarly what we say, that also tallies with it. We say whatever is favorable for you, means helpful, useful for you, that is decided by intellect only. And whatever intellect wants to have contact, that is useful for you to achieve your goal, whatever may be the goal. That goal differs from person to person, and that's how the object which is acceptable by you may be rejectable by me. The people from Telangana, is there anybody here? They make a chutney out of only terrific chilies, only chili.
They have got chili curries also.
Yes. And you cannot smell it, you cannot touch it in your by your tongue. Such people are there. It is favorable for them. Without that, their food is never digested. Am I right or not?
So that's why when they speak also it is like a fire sound.
May it be fire, then only it will burn all your ignorance. The fire of knowledge. Now really, such people are very intellectual, because it stimulates the nerve system. So that is good for them, and we cannot dream of it. I have tested it. That's why. अरे चक्कर आ जाएगा, रोते फिरेंगे 1 घंटा तक. Anyway, so what is good, what is bad, and what is neutral, we have seen now. हे सद्बुद्धे, जो वस्तु साक्षात या परंपरा या सुख के अनुकूल होते हैं वो उपादेय होती है, और जो वस्तु सुख विघातक होती है वो हेय होती है, एवं जो वस्तु इन दोनों के बीच की होती है वो उपेक्ष होती है, ऐसा अनुभवी लोगों का कहना है. So Vasudeva is explaining these 3 types of objects. Why we shall see afterwards, because the question was different. How the action is related with the experience. This was the question. Action is walking in the space, and experience, that means the wise people are established firmly in the steadiness, so they cannot have action, they cannot have movement. So such great people, wise people, they cannot walk in the space. Why? Because no action is possible there. And the similar question always we ask on the realized souls, how can they do anything at all? Doing something means disturbance, movement. So that is not possible for a person who is strongly established in stability.
ये doing है और कर्म है समझ मगर भगवत गीता में जो बोलते हैं कि बिना कर्म के धैर्य रह सकता।
That is what karma. Karma. Action is called karma. Action means every being, every object, whatever is created by the Creator. Creation means it is formation, composition and manifestation. Creation means. So by forming means which is not formed. Not formed means it is something unthinkable. And formed means the mind can accept it. Mind means fourfold mind. The ego, the subconscious mind, and the intellect and the mind. So all these four aspects of mind can have contact with the object, that is called formation. Then only it is called formed or created or composed or manifested. All these words are used for this purpose. And the reality is, whatever is beyond all these, they have come under its territory, under its relationship or acceptance. That is, the mind can reach it. So formation means the unlimited, unthinkable, unseen, unknown has become known, thought over, or has been seen by the mind, all these. Then only it is called creation. So what happens? Our point is the Creator creates all these. In what way? What is the process? By movement only. By movement means by action only. Creation is a type of action. It is an action. Creation, it is a verb. Creation itself is a noun, but creating is verb. So verb means action without having a doer or doing process or verb or the action and the object done. Without these triads, there is no creation at all. No relative world. Yes. So here, action is a must. It cannot be steady. Whether you think it, or you imagine it, or you speak it, or you do it, whatever you do, whatever is your state, if you are there means it is filled with a tendency to form. That is the starting of the creation. So nobody can keep quiet. On this basis, Lord Krishna said, Nahi kaschid kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karmakrit. Nobody can remain without movement for a moment. So you have to know how to have your movement actions so that it will be favorable for you. That means it will help you to have a happy, prosperous, meaningful life. Meaningful means you have to reach your goal, whatever may be the goal, and really speaking, the goal is to not to act but to rest. That is the goal. We have come, originated from that, we have to go back to that only. That is the goal. Knowingly and unknowingly, accepting or unaccepting, that is the goal for everyone. So, whatever is helpful in this way to achieve the goal, that is called favorable, and that is by intellect only. Very beginning we have started, the mind should have contact. Mind is the root cause, fourfold mind. That ego should be there, and ego starts first, I, and then it goes on changing. That is called action. In this way, when we see, he says, three types of objects are available in this world. ये तीनों साध्य भेद अज्ञानियों के लिए ही हैं. All these three types of objects are there only for ignorant persons. He is coming to the point to explain. All these objects are only for those who are in action. In action means they are ignorant persons. Because action is the root cause of the creation, this relative world. So, everything belongs to this relative world. The persons in this relative world is known as ignorant person. One who goes beyond it, they are called wise men. And this world, this creation, you know, we every now and then we discuss, it goes on in a cycle. Cycle, under cycle, innumerable cycles go on with each other, within each other, relating with each other. Everything goes on in cycle. So it is unending, no beginning, no end. Creation has got no beginning, no end. Yes. कर्तव्यम त्रिषु कालेषु किंचन.